Hello lurkers, and hello all you archaeologists. I'm the Johnstruct. Welcome to the proximity. I'm about to begin the Pathologic 3 adventure. Now, I played Pathologic 2. I didn't play Pathologic 1, I won't lie. There's quite a famous video on Pathologic 1 by a guy called H01 guy, and I played Pathologic 2 because I watched that video and I was like, oh wow, that video, that sounds cool. But also, in that video, he mentions an old article on Rock Paper Shotgun. I don't know what website it was, written by somebody called Quins. And I know who. I don't know Quins in real life, but I've been watching videos by Quins for years. Like I even mentioned to Tom in that video, and Tom's Quins used to be on a YouTube channel called Shut Up and Sit Down about board games. He now does pen and paper RPGs, and during the pandemic, he was a character in City foosball, not foosball, some sort of ball league, fictional one. Anyway, so like, I played Pathologic 2. I played it the stupidest way imaginable, by the way. I managed to like bumble my way through that game. There's a bit in the second game where you have to kill somebody in a cave to get their heart and make it do a ritual. And I didn't know what the attack button was because I hadn't killed a single person. I was having a pacifist playthrough of Pathologic 2 because evidently I just wasn't using any of my doctor powers. I was just trying to stay alive generally and just like talk to people. Let's pretend you don't know what Pathologic is. What's Pathologic? Well, there's a 2-hour video by a guy called H. Bomber Guy. But Pathologic 1 was, I think it's like 2004. It might be 14. It's an old game. It's pre-pandemic, but it's about a doctor going to this sort of Eastern European little village, this town, and suddenly, oh no, a pandemic hits, and you have 12 days to like solve the pandemic, save as many people as you can. Specifically, 12 people you want to like save, because and you'll do this by walking around the town, talking to people, doing quests for them. And there's so much, like especially in the original game, there's so much walking. You will die from hunger, from starvation, from being stabbed by muggers. The way you deal with that original game is you have to fight bandits at night and trade items with kids who like secretly have the cure. Rarely there's like a whole like hobo economy thing going on, but mainly the reason you play the game is just all the dialogue. Everyone like represents different like not psychologies, but different the word escapes me, but like philosophies. There we go, different philosophies. And even the different doctors have different philosophies. So there's 3 doctors. There's the Haruspex, the Batchelor, and the Changeling. And so the Haruspex is sort of like a local doctor. He's a surgeon. He knows the lines, and he's the son of this important guy. And day 1 that he gets blamed for his murder. But also you're the only person in town allowed to like cut bodies because you're the surgeon. So you're doing it for your sort of mystic way, whereas as the Batchelor, you're trying to find a cure for immortality. And oh no, that guy just got murdered apparently, or did he? Maybe he died of the sand plague. And you deal with like more the politics side of the town. Like all the same people are there, but like the people that Haruspex never got to talk to, the Batchelor does get to talk to. Things like that. And again, I didn't play the first game, but I did play the second game. And the second game is a remake of the first game, but only from the Haruspex's perspective. Whereas this is the remake of the first game only from the Batchelor's perspective. And if they do P4, presumably we'll get the Changeling again. Now, before I say any more, let's see if this game actually works, because I had forgotten just how janky Pathologic 2 was. I started streaming this game about 30 minutes ago, like did this entire spiel at the beginning. And then the game started like fuck. I have messed around with the settings. I have downloaded the latest drivers and done all that sort of things. I've turned down the resolution to 1690. I don't know what. I'm probably not streaming at that. Made it well, you can have a look at the graphics. SMAA seemed to help me a lot. I've turned the resolution scale down. Like this texture streaming budget is low. Draw distance is low, medium even. Like I will say the demo worked absolutely fine. I streamed that absolutely fine and didn't ask for anything. But we will be playing with streamer mode off because I don't have 1,000 people watching me. It'll be fine. But I've turned off everything on the computer I don't need running. But I will say, it does... I think it runs fine if I don't have OBS running in the background. Let's see. We'll talk more about my original experience while playing the game. But I want to do that introduction first.
I'm Daniel Dankovsky, Bachelor of Medicine.
So yeah, it was stuttering like fuck for...
All my life I have been studying death, the greatest boundary holding humanity back. The powers that be were frightened of my search. My lab in the capital was about to be closed. But it cannot be denied that some phenomena might be found only in the strangest, most remote parts of our country. Little towns that are yet to be explored by forward-thinking minds. People accept the supposed imminence of death way too easily. We meekly follow our life's path to it, like cattle to the slaughter.
There's a cow there!
But we shouldn't. My search for immortality has brought me rumors of one, Simon Kane. A supposedly immortal man, living in one such town. He might be just the proof all my theories need. The final patient. I need to find him, or else all my life's work is doomed.
So, there is a mind map. So, as I said before, I watched the video of H-Bomber Guy. I've watched it several times because, you know, when you enjoy a video on the internet, sometimes you watch it. Sometimes I'm also an office worker, so I'll put stuff in the background that I've seen before just because it's more fun than just doing my work, you know what I mean? But obviously he tells the story while running through that of all three characters in the original game. And I was just, like, when I got around to playing Pathologic 2, it was just interesting to realise how little impact and knowing that story had on, like, the story I experienced in Pathologic 2. I had always meant to replay Pathologic 2, especially when they announced Pathologic 3, but then suddenly it sprung up on me. I was like, oh, it's out tomorrow. Well, shit. But luckily, I had been watching somebody play through Pathologic 1, and he's playing the Batchelor route. He's on like day 10 from my continuity. I don't know if I remember any of the important stuff. Watching a game being played is not the same as playing a game. And I'm often surprised by how much you miss. And especially as a story as dense as this. Obviously there's a little bit of a gimmick with this one with time travel. I don't know if that is obvious, but it's in the trailers though. So all the other versions of the games, you just go straight forwards. But of course, you're constantly time traveling, right? You're loading previous saves. So what they've done is they've canonized that as a part of the gimmick. Like the twists for the previous games is you're playing a computer game. Like the sort of falseness of the narrative is that everything is a construct, is a plot point. And so you loading your game is also a plot point. So the other thing the second game did, this is how bad I was at the second game. I can't remember if I mentioned this, that every time you die, the day gets a little shorter. You get a little bit less time to do everything in, which is a really fucking mean conceit. But it only goes down by half. Other than that, at that point, Mark Immortal was like, well, you're fucking rubbish at this. And the thing is, you can't load a game because that's across all saves. So yeah, I did really quite badly. Survival games is not my forte, and Pathologic 2, even though like it's harder than the first game in some ways and easier in other ways. Like the first game's impenetrable, that what makes it so hard. But like there are ways to get through it if you play cheekily. Like if you're constantly scum saving, and they've obviously didn't want people doing that in the second game, so it's tuned better. It's a better game overall, but like it's tuned to be difficult as fuck, and like that's the way they wanted it. They wanted it to be hard to survive. Anyway, the mind map. My thoughts, conclusions, deliberations. To see the events of a specific day, press the number on its circle. Day 1, in which the calamity can still be prevented. Can it? The immortal man, Simon Kane, an alleged immortal, lives in this town. Understanding him is the only way to save my Thanatica. Are you chasing shadows again, Dankovsky? As I said before, I have played the demo. I even put it on the internet because sometimes the demos are like a separate continuity, like plot-wise. One of the things is you get post in the original game that tells you what you're actually trying to achieve and a bit of story, and never at any point does it fucking tell you that there's a button that, like, it doesn't tell you you've got post. You just have to press the post button, and the game doesn't tell you there's a post button. So, like, it's entirely impossible to miss that. Whereas all these things, they've clearly put a lot of effort into, like, making it much more clear what you're supposed to be doing. Are you serious? I barely stepped off the train and my things were immediately stolen. Ah, the joys of rural life. Without my tools, I'm useless. Must find the prototype and the microscope. They're vital. We'll see this on the map. Here we are, the map. My luggage was stolen. No choice but to start searching for it. It is quite hot now. I'm going to turn this off. Starting where I arrived. Is there room on my fucking schedule to play this game? Of course there isn't, but I'll make room because Pathologic was a game I was very excited for. So, one of the other gimmicks of this game is... I don't know about the other meters. It's probably not going to show me right now. Or if it's just... Because if it's just apathy and mania, then that's a massive improvement. Because I'm not super keen on the survival things. Attentive games. I'm sure the game will actually tell me. Well, now with paused, I can say. If you go full apathetic or full maniac, you lose the game. So you have to keep it constantly balanced. And you can use drugs or things to do that. Or just like look at a dead body. That'll make you a bit more depressive, you know what I mean? Or kick a bin. That'll make you more manic. Coffee can make you more manic. Things like that. So I don't know if you still have to eat and sleep. That's something the second game... The second game was basically the first game again, but all the systems were improved and modernised. So I can see why they went out their way to actually change a lot of things. Because, like, I didn't need the game to be fun per se, because that's not a thing that all games have to be. But it is also like a fucking lot of walking. Even the second game is so much just walking to places. Some objects can be useful. I can spot them easily if I press my LB to concentrate. Disturbing thoughts. Some thoughts will affect your mental state. So, there you go. So, priceless medical text. Gutted like a fish. Backwards, mindless, meaningless vandalism. Worse than stealing morphine. Just empty destruction by illiterate punks. So that made me a bit apathetic because I dwelled on it for too long. Who are you? I saw you. Come back. Hey, eyes on us. Okay, I'll put myself on the other side. The thief's seen us. The thief. Mr. Thief, are you for real? Say something in thief speak. Okay, so oh, the other thing about the Batchelor is he's a prick. He's a smug bastard who thinks he's cleverer than everyone else. So you can just talk Latin to people. I don't think that would ever help though. What do you mean, Mr. Thief? You're the ones who've stolen my things. Thief, you stole my train's heart. You did. Just ripped it out and stole it. And now it will die without a heart. Many creatures in this world survive perfectly well without hearts. A train, I believe, would belong to the order of Crasolite worms. They don't need hearts. Are you stupid, mister? Worms don't look like that at all. They have arms and legs and a forehead and two hearts and one in the chest and one of his wives. So, I did. Worms are actual people in this world. Worms don't have wives, but Batchelor doesn't know that. Ha ha ha! You're not just a thief, but a dummy too. If worms don't have wives, then who does the dances? You fucking idiot! Who makes the grass grow? You think it grows by itself? Listen, boy, enough jokes for today. I've come to this town on important business, which I cannot conduct without my microscope and prototype. Please return them to me. Hey, hold on. No need for all the begging and the politeness. What did I even do to you anyway? I didn't take nothing. It was all Jector. My microscope and prototype are precise, delicate instruments. They break, they'll only scrape metal, scrap metal and glass. They'll just die, like the train. You don't want that, do you? I don't. Tell me where Jector's taking them. Jector's taken the heart back to go fix the train. That way, to its face. My snitch now, Mr. Thief. Oh, there's full stops now. No, a snitch is someone who runs off to inform without being asked to do so. You're an honest witness. This. The most fragile ones didn't break. I didn't bring heaps of leaves. Oh, hang on, I can run to this guy as well. Also, there's a run button. Ooh.
Do geese see God?
Okay, so I know who E01 is from the previous games. Do geese see God, did you say? That's the same forwards as it is backwards. Or did she say, did you see God? What did she say? So what's that? So that's what you like. Dead tired and covered in dust. Daniel Dankovsky at your service. You're restless. We hardly see anyone like that in our sleepy little town. Even the Canes have gone into hibernation as years pass. I didn't go back into the train in the demo. How would you know what I'm like? I've only just arrived. Your lips are tense, with the hands of a man who can't sit still. Besides, Simon told me to take a close look at you. And I always listen to him. Simon Kane? Simon Kane, he left you in my care. Said you'd be staying at my house. Oh, it has a name. The Stillwater. And this won't be the first time it's had guests. But most don't last long. I think you will, though. For we already prepared everything. What did you prepare? Your room, a bed, workspace, breakfast, peace? Okay. I'll come when I sort out my missing luggage. You've got interesting kids in this town. Before I knew it, I'd already lost my suitcases. Oh. Simon was expecting me. A place was prepared at the Stillwater. The guest house, as far as I could tell. He's gone. We are going to try and keep E01 alive. Because that's going to be important for us. Who are they? Who are they? Alright, time is a ticking. I say, a living, breathing person stepping off our train. Do you normally only get dead people? Where did you come from? The capital, Daniel Tanskovsky, Bachelor of Medicine. I am told a supposed mortal man Simon Kane lives here. I have to study him. Right, do you city folks always take 20 trunks of shirts of you? Or did you manage to cut down to 10, sir? 8? Though I had to sit on the last one. Where can I find the constable? Who do I talk to about recovering my stolen property? Just kids being kids, no need to be mean to them. I must get my luggage back. Losing my instruments is like losing my arms. Worse than losing my arms. I'm telling you, hands off the kids. You're new here, fresh off the train. You're new in town, so watch yourself and heed our customs. No constable or patrolman will chase after children for you. No street sweeper either. Are you serious right now? Why not? Because the kids have their own thing going on. Their own empire, you see. I'm not going to mess with it. And if you find someone to do it for you, it's your funeral. Or rather theirs. Although they wouldn't get a funeral. The tower would simply break them. What tower? The polyhedron. I'm not sure what I was expecting. You know what? If you need your shirt so badly, why don't you go looking for the tots that ran away with them? Just ask them nicely. The kids are like magpies. They'll trade you precious linens with capital back in exchange for the bits of coloured glass, or even just a story, or whatever you do. Don't hurt them. I have plenty of stories to tell, but they usually involve vivisections. I suppose kids do like that sort of thing. Say, is the capital a real place? In a sense, of course. Capital is a myth, and the myth is the real capital, but the city does exist physically. The Canes came from the capital and made our town, but no other real people have come from there ever since. Oh, more coming. So I was thinking perhaps Simon Kane simply made up the capital, along with everything else. In a small town like yours, a single individual's authority can grow to be all-encompassing. I assure you, though, Kane did not make up the capital. Sometimes I need to take a step back and think logically through something. It helps me put the picture together. Suitcases missing. My luggage in such a state. This town gave me a warm welcome, didn't it? The street sweeper says no one will help me find the missing items. I'll have to handle this myself. The most important thing is the microscope and the experimental prototype. No help at all. We already know where this leads. It's a serene place. If immortality still exists in our country, we'd be here. Oh fuck! Was that making my mania go up every time? I'm gonna take it. I wasn't really paying attention to my mania. Those fragile ones didn't break. Okay, so have my gun. Ah. These are all the characters. Well, there's more than 12. Notes. So we're in the red. So we'd want to what's this? I will say the game is a little bit janky.
Freeze frame.
Sorry, that pop, I don't actually know what that was. Free. That was Valerian extract, sedative, sometimes even Batchelor drinks, the timeless classics. Addictive, less effective with every use. So, brought down my mania a tiny bit. No, it's dead already. A dead heart keeps beating for 40 days, that's what my mum says. It couldn't have been dead that long. Do it, tack it on. It won't fit in there, it just won't. Told you we should have stuck it in the belly, not the mouth. Life's in the belly, everyone knows that. Nope, locomotive's heart sits in the front with the driver. That's where the fire is, so the heart should be too. That's what Boulder told me. You're right, Jector. You're Jector, right? You're correct, the train's life is in its locomotive, which is housed in the front. Ah, begone, vile snake! You killed the other trains, didn't you? Because of you, they don't come to us anymore. We were wondering, and we didn't know which way they kept. We were wondering, and we didn't know why they kept dying. We've got a whole graveyard. They're all rusted up. They can't go anywhere. It's because of you. You stole the train's heart for yourself, carried it away in a suitcase. Now the train's all dead. You said the train's heart is at the front. I rode the carriage in the middle. How could I get to the heart then? With the bowels, like all men could do. Don't go for the heart for the bowels, my young friend. We'll hit quite a different body part first. Without it, the train stopped wailing, stopped moving too. That means it's dead. So this is its heart, obvious. Right? Well, that's a bit simplistic. Response to stimuli is just one characteristic of life. It's not exhaustive. What are the others? Adaptation. 4 trains came every week. Then it was every 2 weeks. Now it's every 2 months or less. And they don't leave ever. They just lay there and wait. It's because of the war. No, it's because they don't love us no more. But if we heal this one, they'll love us again and they'll come back and bring meringues. Oh, it's been a long time since I had a meringue. Look, my prototype is not the train's heart. I certainly won't repair it, but it is an interesting thing in of itself. So let's make a deal. I'll give it. You give it back. I'll tell you how it works. I don't know. There'll be corpses in the town, a whole pile of them. These corpses, were they stabbed or strangled? Kin must never cut. They only strangle. So if they were stabbed, Kin didn't do it. Good to know. Look here, let me take the prototype. I won't run away, I promise. To wind it up, you need to turn this handle clockwise. The capital, 2 weeks ago. Capital. Oh, I'll go that direction. Okay, game, are you going to tell me what these things are? Okay. Yeah, you have to press the... this is janky fucking game. You have to press the button here. Toxin from the Institute for pest control purposes, kept under lock and key. Stimulant and anesthetic. Let's take all, please. Load the prototype.
Vita nostra brevis est, brevi finietur.
Yes, sure. To prime it, hold this crank and turn it clockwise. This is Platon. Chief, hello? Oh, for crying out loud. Your mind's flown away again. Prime thought now. The morgue is swimming in a gas leak from lab 102. I heard the alarm. That's right, I pulled the alarm because of the chlorine from lab 102. Anyway, the crank is stiff and you'll have to turn it with some force. Platon, are you crazy? There's a gas leak. What did you call me in here for? Dongle connected, I know. We have to seal the morgue and evacuate quickly. No, Daniel. What we have to do is load the prototype you're fiddling with, use it to get into the morgue. The woman rose from the dead is in there, and it will be, I think you agree, extremely frustrating if she dies again. We must get her out. Risen from the dead? I was collecting tissue samples to determine the onset of rigor mortis when I heard a noise. I turned around and holy smokes. A woman was sitting up in the gurney, stiff as a poker, rasp in her throat. I started towards her, and then I smelled the gas and pulled the alarm lever. Chlorine isn't known for bringing back the dead, but if the woman was brought here by mistake alive, perhaps the gas could have irritated her mucous membranes enough to wake her. Chief, you're braiding another one of your chains of hypotheticals. We need practical observations. Pull out the patient, then write the monograph, not the other way around. You're right. Tell me what I should do with this device, this prototype, I think you called it. I already told you, but fine, let's go over it again. You're holding an experimental prototype meant to dissipate tuberculosis miasma. Remember the consumption task force? That sounds like a terrible TV show. Kaufman, Gorski, Anna Stein. Of course I remember in the wake of Bazin. They were commissioned to make a device to dissipate miasma, but I believe it was meant for something other than tuberculosis. So in 1 and 2, as far as I know, you never see the capital. So this is all brand new. This is a brand new character. This magnificent gizmo disperses an aerosol of disinfectant. First you load the prototype. There's bottles of solution in the beige cabinet. Best set it on the table while you load it. You can't do that while you're holding it. I wonder if this will work against chlorine, though considering it was designed for mustard gas. Next you wind the prototype up to prime it, hold the crank here and turn it clockwise. I played the demo, so this is a pretty neat gimmick, this sort of fuck off gas gimmick. This Anna Stein isn't just a medic, she's a natural born mechanical engineer. What an ingenious device. Well, Gorski assembled it. Anna took charge of optimizing the chemical composition. Either way, the talented team and the military likes them. And I just released the contents into the gas. Correct? Wind up the gas, then release. The gas should dissipate. Theoretically, wind, release, dissipate. Repeat until you reach our resurrect T. Just remember the chlorine will keep coming while our supply of solution is finite. Just try to be as efficient as possible, Chief. What about the deceased woman? Where is she now? In what state? The formerly deceased woman, Chief. Before the gas became too thick to see through, she was sitting on the gurney at the opposite end of the morgue. From there, I know as little as you do. She may have gone back to being deceased. The chances are infinitesimal, but if we really are dealing with a spontaneous resurrection, and if we lose the patient, I'm going to commit some crime against humanity. Pneumatics with mechanical priming. The longer I hold the crank, the stronger the effect. Operating range is supposed to be decent. Unload is good for 20 uses. Load the prototype with stimulant, anesthetic, and toxin. Here in the cabinets. Add the ingredients one by one into the setup and heat it up. Need to open the valves, except... Sure, this is just telling me stuff. Good for good 20 uses. Load the prototype. Load the weapon. Before you can use the prototype, you need to load it. Ingredients in the cabinet. Okay.
People, yes. Got skin, covered in skin. That's what they are. People.
I know, right? Covered in skin. Ugh, people. Just... Okay. Load. So, toxin, stimulant, and anesthetic. It's all been loaded. Lovely. Locked. Prototype successfully loaded. Press R right trigger to charge, then release when the pendulum stops. I took some damage there.
Dull, yes. Cheap, always. Same as always.
Am I being fucking blind? 16. 15. 14. 'Spontaneous resurrectee. You have death's eyes. I have the eyes of a man who's just walked through 14 meters of poisonous gas without protective goggles. Into the tunnel, there's a second tunnel. Don't speak, you'll inhale more poison. At the end of the tunnel, there's a second tunnel. What does that mean? Means that when you die, there's neither life nor death, but something else entirely. Like a coin falling on its edge, or a Mobius strip. Shouldn't concern yourself with such things, though. Can I have my prototype back? Take it. Spoons. I've been writing a novel, and there's a Mobius strip in my novels. Because I explain, you take a ribbon, tie it to itself, you have yourself a loop, take a ribbon, twist one of the ends, tie it to yourself, now you have two loops. And any way you pick on the loop is simultaneously the beginning, the end, and the exact middle. It spins all boring, clockwise only. Grandpa Simon has clocks that spin every which way. Besides, what's that got to do with the plot? Wait, it would be very much like taking any of these lines out of context and explaining it. So, quite a lot, actually. And nothing at all. Besides, the train's already dead. Couldn't save it in time. You understand transplantation, at least, a bit. Indeed, a heart can't survive outside the body. Sick of this game, go away. We're going to go play cat and old hat. We still have time before the sun sets. Wait, what about my microscope? I'll trade you another tail for it. We didn't take your microscope. I didn't expect you to know the word. Even some people in the capital don't know it. We don't know it, we just know we didn't take nothing else. Just a train's heart. Where is it then? The prototype is in my right hand, the microscope is my left. I can't collect data without it. The dogheads must have taken it. Khan and not kin. Got a deal. All the war spoils get split down the middle. They don't care about hearts, not in any of their many faces. Why would they need another one? What does your microscope do? Is it alive? A microscope is a kind of metallic pipe fitted with lenses. You use it to look at small objects, makes them large and detailed. Oh, a kaleidoscope. To look at the colourful town. You can do it like Capella. Like... You know the word kaleidoscope? Ooh, and defenestration. Mr. Marek used it when Foreman E01 threw Uncle Rowan out the window. I watched the time go right out the window. So is it, I do like the word defenestration and the supervillain defenestration man. So as it stands, you pass my belongings along to some other gang. I need to go to them and get my microscope back. Am I right? Khan must have given it to Capella as a gift. You stupid, she hates kaleidoscopes after what happened to that stained glass. No, Khan wouldn't have given it to her. If it's something that changes things when you look through it, you must have given it to Grandpa Simon. Grandpa Simon loves things like that. Khan wouldn't give it to anyone, not before he looks at it himself or after either. But he's honest, even if he's wicked. He'd give it back to the owner. If you find him in town, he'll deal fair. Where can I find him? Well, if they brought your kaleidoscope into the polyhedron, you won't see it again. No use looking there. Try Stairways to Heaven. The dogheads like them. I assume that's the building that doesn't have the walls. I think they look like the polyhedron. There's one right there, here in the mall. You know, after this conversation with its Capellas, Khans, polyhedrons, I'm beginning to see the shape of the world you live in. It sounds complicated, but it can't be worse than human anatomy, can it? Lost the microscope. I do like... So this is in the last game, but it didn't twist all over itself. I sort of like... Because it's how his head works. Okay. Oh, we've killed. I suppose I should go. Oh, look at this. Yeah, right. He doesn't look like a train. NB Besheb. Orbis mirabilim plenus est. Go away, Snake Man. You've got sharp heels. Some kids ran through here with my belongings. Did you see them? You gaze at the earth. Do not pull us away from the earth. Then I shall not presume to divert your attention any further. I met a lumpy man. I've heard of an elephant man. Is this a worm man then? I've only seen such poor disfigured creatures in an anatomical theatre. That's interesting. He knows who the elephant man is. Precise cut, more akin to surgery than murder. Stabbed in the stomach, gutted, just like my books. The body still warm. Surprisingly, for a man like this, he was sober. And I know who killed him. Jacob Stern, Kirk, and what's his name? Bertrand. Such a harmless fellow he was. Never hurt a fly in his life. And the Ripper slashed him to ribbons like the rest of them anyway. The brute. We must give these unfortunate souls the proper burial they deserve and find the Ripper. They gave him a burial befitting a beast. So in the Haruspex storyline, when you get off a train, you're mugged and you have to kill 3 people. And then you're blamed for your father's death, so he's the Ripper. There might be an actual Ripper as well, but he's blamed for it. So in his game, he can't access shops and stuff because people think he's done a fucking murder. It's like such an escalation in an already difficult game. Daughter of Sook. The other thing is, in the second game I'm going to know a lot more than the first because I played the second game. I know that all the characters are categorized by all their, like, the people they know, the clans they form, and they didn't really have that in the second game. They just had the sort of bound. And it looks like they may have brought that back a bit. Kulike, I don't know how to pronounce that umlau. Konad, do not act rashly. Give Kirk to me. I'll pay you back in kind, in herbs, in blood. I do not mean to alarm you, but you have holes in your dress the size of another dress. Are you crazy? Why are you looking at her? Why are you even speaking to her? Be gone, witch! Buya Yante, do not speak to me, stranger. I've come begging for food to give Suok, begging for tears to give Mother Bodo. I speak the blood of Udug, of our town. You are not our blood. Our eyes do not see you, stranger. Our eyes do not hear you. Suok, Mother Bodo, Udug. Before you ask, no, I don't need to write down new words. I have an excellent memory. Rippers come to town. The father killer, Barak. He was always a wild one. But then Marab Shabnak lay with him. Ah, that's a different name. So I know it is the Shabnakadir. I don't know if that's the same thing. But I do know they start going around murdering women who they think is the Shabnak in the steppe. And whispered things in his ear to make him water the earth with blood. As soon as he got off the train, he went on his murder spree, killed Jacob Sturk, killed Kirik, killed harmless Bertie. He's a monster. And people scoff at me for saying our land abounds with analytical minds. Did you deduce this simply from inspecting the corpses? No, actually, that might be true, but, like, let's not be stupid. Mara Shabnak, who's that? A thing that comes from the steppe, a golem on feet of bone that takes the form of a young harlot, lays with someone and then eats their eyes to blind them to reality. I thought I'd come alone, almost alone, but I definitely don't recall a mad ripper on the train with me. He arrived on the freight train, took the back door like a thief in the night. You just said the Shabnak copulated with him, but now he's hiding from her in a coffin? Only 2 sentences into this conversation, and I already want to shoot myself. Uyante, hear me out, blood of my Udar. Suok sings of fierceness, sharpness. Inside of you, you call Kirk. Give his body to me. He's dead to you anyway. You will bury him. He will rot away until nothing is left. I will bury him, and Suok will eat him. Drink his savagery, his sting, and sing Abhen Dan, a herb song in gratitude. Will give us Tawire, and brew us lots of Twirine. Twirine is like absinthe, I believe. She will give us Ashen Swish, the harshest of herbs. Be Ashen Swish is a cool herb, bad herb. It thrives on blood and spite. Suok sings that you need plenty of swish soon. Yours is a burial of emptiness, but mine is a burial into Suok's womb. I am at your feet. Hein Con Nud Nuad. Good people, give me the one you call Kirik. So some of this I think is supposed to go over your head. Don't worry too much about like just understanding everything. It'll be fine. We should give it the body maybe. He didn't seem to have any family. Without them in the picture, I guess it doesn't matter if we bury him or the kin do. Who knows? Suppose we do get a good crop of twire. A corpse is useless fertilizer. I was under the impression that who buries the who actually matters quite a lot in traditional cultures. But they aren't just going to bury him, they're going to desecrate him until not even Shabnak can recognise what's left. That's what you're going to do, isn't it? Step girl, say it. And don't you dare lie to her. So, yeah. So, She's from the steppe, from the outside the town. As are, I believe, the worms. The worms are the strange people with the giant eyes. So this it's sort of funny because like the entire town is sort of anachronistic and religious and like have all these sort of like strange beliefs, and obviously you saw already the children do, but those are children's games, but they take those children's games seriously. The guy, the sweeper, explained to us, like, you don't mess with the children, they play their games, and you fucking don't interfere with their game, even though like they're whimsical, the games can change like just on a whim. But obviously even to the people of the town, the people of the steppe are like strange. I'm at your feet, Hein, which is why they have this language. I'm going to assume that's an O. Konoad, good people. I'm going to pronounce that word differently every time. I promise there will be no desecration. We'll take his name so it holds sharpness no longer, and it will lower him into Suok's womb. I'm assuming Suok is the name of the bull that is the town, if that makes any sense. Everyone will forget him. Forget the wicked murderer Kirik, and only Ash and Swish will remain. I knew there was a catch. Wicked or not, you can't just bury a person without their name. Everyone has the right to be remembered. Nothing else. In the story I'm writing, I'm going to do this. I'm getting quite far on it. You have to give people their names back in death. And that's like what a priest does. When you die, you lose it, but like you can give it back. But he really was a wicked man. Rare times somebody remembers him at all. They never have anything good to say. Perhaps it's for the best everyone forgets him. What an ethnographic goldmine you've got here. It's a shame I'm not an anthropologist. I was reminded of a guy who does lectures on YouTube called Sapolsky, who's an ethologist. And I was going to get his book, which is called Why Zebras Don't Have Ulcers. And it's just about stress. But if you're ever interested in like like everything, no, come back, Dongle. His lectures are is he's human behavior is what he's about. But there's a series of Stanford lectures, and each of them cover human behavior from a different angle. So one of them's evolutionary biology, one of them's ethology, one of them's fucking brain synapses. Those ones are really difficult, to be honest. And they're like an hour each. And they're really interesting. The whole point is, he explains in the very first one, if you like drill down too much on one, like that's a bad not trepanning, like the whole like deal with cutting into people's heads. What's that called? When you just cut bits of brain out, you're like, hey, they're not complaining anymore. Like that's because somebody had a theory and they just didn't investigate any of the other avenues. Same with like like Hitler and the master race, where that was all evolutionary biology, and it's like, no, there's things that's clearly wrong because of other scientific reasons, but because they were a single discipline, they didn't get to see those other aspects. And the whole point is, here are like human behavior from all these different angles. Then make of that if you will. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of Sapolsky. Well, that says ethno and not etho. I'll take the name of Kirik. What does that mean? Touch of our eyes, a touch of our fingers, the name melts away. The one they used to call Kirik will become a gift to Suok instead. You'll have no grave, and there'll be no man in the memory of the people. Speak to me no more, stranger. Your words are poison. I wasn't talking to you. Let's hand over the body. I'd rather avoid a falling out with the kin. It will only lead to more trouble down the line. What do you think, stranger? You look important. Maybe you have some brains to back it up. Once a person dies, their body's no more than a collection of molecules and tissues. any opportunity to put it to use is a stroke of fortune. Corpus non est templum. Thank you, stranger. By Allah, death came to this town today. Such great death, the likes of which has never been seen before. Today will be a fearsome day. Tomorrow even more so. On the third day, fear will itself will die. And without ash and swish, we will die too. I came to this town today. That's all that matters. We're going to be arrogant as fuck. Murderer came to town alongside me. Luckily, I'm prepared to fight death in all its guises. Golem of bones. Locals believe in a shabnak, a murderous step golem in the guise of a woman. It's like I've stepped out of time and not just travelled far from home. There's the lumpy man. See, he's in the direction of the kin-based stuff. You've got to survive 12 days. This... Oh, you have this Smello-vision, this Batman vision, Eagle vision. This wasn't in the previous games. Simon was expecting me. The place was prepared at the Stillwater, the guest house as far as I can tell. I can never have too many coffins. Birdies, gather here around the marble nest. Ah, the marble nest. They're imported here. Why? I suppose there aren't many trees in the steppe. I did play Marble Nest. Didn't expect to find an ordinary girl behind the pile of coffins. So, okay.
A jug sent to the well often is soon smashed.
Is it? Oh, Badgrave. Would you look at that? A customer. Keep walking, customer. This shop's appointment only. Don't recall your name on the list. Magician looked just like coffins. What did? Look at this fashionista. That's interesting. They've got new models. So in the second game, there's a guy on the train who's like a generic looking guy, and he gives you a deal. And if you take his deal, so every time you die in the second game, the day, which there's limited time of the day, gets shorter. It speeds up. And so I died so often that the days were half length, and it just made the game really difficult to play. But if you accept his deal, then that doesn't matter. I don't think that happens. But also you don't get the good ending, because you're not supposed to take the fucking deal. But like, there's a joke. There's loads of people that are just doubles because it's computer games, and they sort of play into that. But it looks like they've had a lot of time to actually add more NPCs that aren't the main characters. Bad Grief is an important character. Fashionista, less so. I assume Fashionista is one of the not tribes, but like sets of people. Like Pawns was one. Looked like a giant bird was nesting by the train. Birdies, gather ye here around the marble nest. I can't recall where the quote is from. It's quite a bird indeed, small in stature, but great in spirit. Hell, I like you. Thanks, Badgroove. Well, lucky he likes you. He's a handsome acquaintance. We've got plenty of shops in town, but our warehouse keeper here can get it for you wholesale. I don't know what that phrase means. Only that, like, that's the name of the book, right? That's the name of not Running Man. The one on Mars. Probably a coincidence. They're pretty. Are they from the capital? From a coffin. Coffin's the best when you need a chest. A checkpoint guard wouldn't dare open it up out of respect. It's inhumane. Meanwhile, it's overflowing with 100 pairs of scarlet Safano leather boots, tax and duty fee. We remember it for you wholesale? What the fuck is that movie called? What's the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he goes to Mars because he's secretly a secret agent, or is he? Maybe it's all a dream. You're right about one thing. It's no good shying away from death. One can't understand a thing they refuse to look at. Refuse? They do refuse. That's what I use. A coffin is an honest thief's best friend. People looking away is how business gets done. You're a tax inspector. I can't imagine a duller job. Keep your nose out of other people's coffins then. Maybe somebody goes in, who knows what happens. Maybe they never died. Maybe they never existed at all. Do what you want, but these boots are no Safanio leather. Light is not kind to you. Grief. Yeah, he's the illicit trader. So here it's the warehouse keeper king is king. He says the contents of coffins are not always what they seem. I wonder. Hit a loading screen. It's safe here for now. Do I have access to the map? So, Bridge Square, Marrow, Backbone, Tanners, Skinners, the Crude Sprawl, Factory, Crowstone. What does that say? There's the cow. People having a conversation outside my window. Stip Village. Ah. Yeah. Pawns. Advanced pawns. Pieces. Queens. Beyond the board. The mind is affected by interactions with specific objects. They're easy to spot if you enter concentration mode. I hate for garbage decay. Several operating rooms no longer give me answers. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Don't need to kick that. If I do kick that... Okay, game wants me to go that direction.
Misophonia, Denkovsky. Forgot that there's so much of the world.
So yeah, I can use objects to help my mood. Capital, they block roads for ministers. Dignitaries fear assassination attempts. My patient dies in a sanitary motel. Outside bowls, children have rats. Though I've read about these little marmots, step carriers of contagion. Buddha, my good little bull. This is Ursi. Blunt-mouthed, broad-browed, please forgive us. Aina, you're silly, Ursi. You always have been. He's returning to Torok, to Bodho. We are leading him into the bosom of his mother and father. Why are you asking him for forgiveness? Because Bose Torok is dead, Aina. His little bull's whole life, he didn't know what the most beautiful creature, the immortal Bose Torok, was waiting for him. Now that he knows Bose Torok is dead, Buddha will find his father's silent corpse. How can we not pity him? Who died? Bose Torok, father of all Katanj people and bulls. We ask Swok to bring him back. You're the silly one, Aina. Swok didn't eat Bose Torok. How could fucking be being silly, Aina? How could she? He's bigger than her, stronger than her. The immortal can't be killed. He chose death himself. We are supposed to have to change his mind and come back to us, his children. What a coincidence, you're burying an immortal. I came to study one. All immortals are one immortal. But death is always one, therefore the immortal is always one. If it's round, then it's orange. Who am I to argue with such logic? Sometimes I'm going to choose to be a prick. Bostock is the father of all Catan people and bulls. Oh, how can I explain? We heard brides walk barefoot so that we can always hear his heart. Tonight it stopped beating. His children are afraid without their father, so we ask him to respond. But I feel he has died. Fang or claw was thrust into him. I feel the wound bleeding. Rust has soaked into him. I feel the rot scorching underfoot. Quiet, both of you. You know nothing. Johnstruct can die only from the gloom. We will cheer him up, feed him, show him our joy. We will bring the last aurochs to his bosom. Then he will remember us and return to us. I think the town, they think of the town as a giant bull. And it's just bulls all the way down. Clearly your Johnstruct is a mythologium, but it must have some basis. I wonder what. Bodo is blind, loving mother, the warmth of the earth. But Johnstruct not only bore us, he watched over us. He lived under his watch. Now the town is without beholder, as a galag kun. All blind worms now. Muga, bad. Worm is a worm. Human is a human. Human is meant to see, to build. This fucker ain't blind. Look how big his eyes are. Look around, beholder. What do you see? A cult of persona. No, that's not what he sees. You said the beholder is Johnstruct. Who am I to contend with him? Any gaze might turn out to be Johnstruct's gaze. Things can't be foreseen. You haven't looked closely. Go further. See our celebration. Look at the last aurochs. What do you see on all this? Tell Kuga afterwards. I love it. How can I forget Kuga? Auroch's a big bull, right? Oh look. Whatever I want to, or not. You seeing this shit? Okay, the smooth went over here first, right? Goddamn lie. That direction was a goddamn lie. I ain't gonna break it. Oh. This is what they were talking about. I'd like to study them. This bloating is a common condition here. Truly astonishing phenomena can still be found in remote corners of our country. Such beautiful movements. Fear makes for curiosity. Townspeople aren't used to such spectacles. They've tied ribbons all over the town and incense burns everywhere. Was this just what the steppe smells like? Oh wow! That's a good choice. Drew McIntyre definitely should have been champion more. Was it a good match? Nice touch, you beholder. What was that? I just saw some sort of... What did you see, beholder? Everything around groaned and died, so far in the midst of an outbreak. That was tomorrow. That will be yesterday. Syphilis. That my hat jumps. Those are anxiety-induced visions of a terrible future, perhaps. Thank you for your vision, beholder. You may see more widely than others. We will remember this. If you see something else unexpected, don't be afraid. It's just the eyes adjusting to a current place in time. Keep moving forwards. Here is some nonsense. Litere non dat penum sed apparent mundum. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, I wanted to see what was there. Happen again, worm. It's rubbish. Yeah, I wasn't looking in the right direction for the vision. I don't want to break anything. It's Markham Mortel, an executor. And tragedian. I will say I was watching a streamer play the first game, and oh, that's what they were talking about with the Khans. I think that's the stairway to heaven. That executor and executor is not the same word. Executor is spelled with an E, and executor is spelled with an O. Executor murders people, and executor is like a lawyer.
This is all a retread, isn't it?
Ah, there you are, finally. Thought you'd forgotten our agreement. Hope you're ready. Have you memorized your lines? Of course I did. I always have 2 or 3 lines ready in my mind. I choose the one before responding. I take no joy in seeing another player who likes to improvise. Your charge is but to read your lines, not to invent them. So yeah, it was. I was getting kind of annoyed because it's just like, come on, you have to eventually notice that it doesn't say executor. Wait, is this really our guy? It looks about the same, but the outfit's all wrong. Did our guy wear a coat? His costume's more suited to an antagonist. More of an anti-hero than an antagonist. I presume you know the difference. That makes you an ideal candidate for our anti-production. I'm Mark Immortel, director of the local theatre, and you are... The Daniel Dankovsky, Doctor, just arrived from the capital. Magnifico. You see, the actor we've been waiting for an eternity has decided to sabotage the rehearsal. You would do us a massive, titanic favour, I see what you've done there, by replacing him, even if just for a little while. Of course, I'd be delighted to. I dreamt of acting on stage since I was a boy. What must I do? Ah, perfecto. It is simple and indeed natural. You need to only react to your colleague's line and thus create a scene of unbearable dramatic tension. Our performance is quite simple. The main character has just arrived in a remote town and quite accidentally stumbled upon a curious rehearsal, which his fate will be decided. Who knows? Perhaps he'll die at the end. Seems the performance has already started, and I'll be dragged in against my will. Is that all you have to say? Why do you stare like that? I see it in his eyes, and his mind is looking for a line to mumble. I say we start the scene with a backhand across your face. I say again, he is no leading man. He's I like how he's framed as a poem. He's unfit to even play a villain. At best a background player, a body, standing there to fill the stage. Is it the step healer's son who ought to... is it iambic pentameter? I say again, he is no leading man. He is unfit to even play a villain. At best, a background... I don't know if it is or not. A background player, a body, standing there to fill the stage. It's certainly a poem, though. It is the step's leader's son who ought to take the role. No, he's had his chance, or that young girl who crawled out of her grave. They have such pathos and such verve. What does this one have? A coat. I see you are awed by my coat. It is perfectly understandable, but envy is a low sentiment. Quod erit demonstratum. The coat is but a prop beneath it. Who are you? Do you want to switch? I'll take your mask and black leotard, and you can wear the coat. Sound good? Don't quite grasp what you're speaking to. There is no face beneath the mask. It is my only skin. Upon this stage I play a special role, the walking shadow of the slain, a spectre of regret and words still left unsaid. Yeah, I forget the roles of the tragedians and the executors, to be honest. I know they service the tutorials, and of course also the executors do exist in town, but I don't think the tragedians do. But I do know they replace people and like speak of things that they wouldn't say out loud. This is a hint I'm not supposed to get just yet, but which will become clear later, right? And that is the heart of our play. Our main character, a doctor, a skeptic, encounters the unknown for the first time. He built his whole life around empiricism and scientific inquiry. What will he do when death addresses him directly? But this isn't literal, right? Hero in a play speaking to death or dead is usually a metaphor, an illustration of his thought process. Well, if that makes it easier for you, we can say it's a metaphor. Play it ambiguously. Leave the audience guessing. But wait. I don't want to be a metaphor. I was promised I'd be the true voice of the dead. What kind of spoil sport ruins a play like this? I told you he couldn't hack it. That's it, I'm out. Metaphor? I'm confused. And you, I see, are never happy with anything. Sounds like a failed actor to me. Excuse me, Dankovsky. Why are you insulting a colleague? I don't remember him making it personal, unlike you. That's what was hurtful, all right? I think we should stop here. What? He's been insulting me the whole time. Doesn't like my lines. Doesn't like my coat. He wasn't insulting you, but your character. I thought you could tell the difference. And I thought you were deliberately blurring the difference. Fucking was deliberately blurring the difference. The world's a stage. Oh no, the big city immersive theatre of 4-4 breaking gimmicks infiltrated this place as well. Wow, fuck. I do like the idea that he knows about the 4-4 going, oh, for fuck's sake, this is nonsense. One aspect of progress I hope to escape. Fucking postmodernism. The 1600s, god damn it. I don't know when this is set. I think it's deliberately ambiguous. Certainly after the Elephant Man. Ah, yes. Impossible geometry. I found what looks like a stairway leading to the heavens. How does it stay upright? Hope the children stole my microscope out there. Another pawn. If you could travel through time, would you go to the future or the past? Future so distant that not even someone with my vivid imagination could fathom it. Grandpa Simon used to say that days are like hopscotch. Usually they go one after another, but sometimes there's two side by side. Sometimes you have to jump backwards. Does Simon Kane know many games? He's the only grown-up who gets games. Everyone thinks they're just silly things for kids, just running around or scoring a point. Stop seeing this weird angle, John. They're throwing you back. But Grandpa Simon knows how games should be. I bet he could even enter the polyhedron. Whatever that thing is, I'm told I'll never see the inside of it. My place is with the earthly matters, apparently. Answer me, did you steal my... How should games be? If you went into the polyhedron, you'd understand. Whatever that thing is, I've been told I'll never see inside it. My place is with earthly matters, apparently. Answer me, did you steal my microscope? I did, yeah. I give it to Phil. He's over there on the stairway. How do those stairs go up without support? They stand like the polyhedron does. Bye, kid. I'll see you later and earlier, as it happens. It's the soul and halves. I'll come back to that. I'm told I should keep the horizon at the top or at the bottom. And generally in computer games, you're not doing very much with the horizon at the bottom. So you should always frame whatever you're doing if you want a good shot like that. I'll try my best. Makes for better screenshots. Oh, what is it? Can you see the future? Let me look too. Gimme. Wait your turn, Pipsqueak. Just let me take one look, and then I'll give it back. Oh, there's a bunch of bugs and little hairs. Doesn't look much like much of a future. Why are you using your dog's eye to look? You're not an animal, you know. Yeah, but the animal might see further, though. Need some help, kids? I'll teach you how to use this thing. Here, let me show you. Oh, it's you. Hey, your thingamajig's busted. Doesn't show anything, just some bugs and weird little hairs. Maybe that is the future. Like in many, many years, nothing will remain on the earth but bugs and hair. It's very sad if you think about it. It only shows bugs and hairs because you're pointing at bugs and hairs. See all those different glass pieces inside? Glass like this shows the future when you look through it. Everyone knows that. Grandpa Simon loved making all sorts of things with glass. I've only seen thingamajigs like this at his place. Why did you steal from Grandpa Simon, you bastard? That's why we stole it back from Hugh. It's called justice. That is my microscope, and I brought it with me from the capital, and you stole it from my luggage. That is called theft. What? You don't know, mister? He doesn't know. Spit it out, you monster. Where did you get this thingamajig from? What did you do to Simon? It was you, wasn't it? I was on my way to go visit Simon, and I would already be there if it wasn't for you. Please give me back my microscope. It's a very delicate instrument. Give it back. Give it back. Will you stop whining? You want it to back so bad? What will you give us for it? Just give him back the thingamajig and let him go his merry way. It's broken anyhow. Can't see the future at all. No. Grandpa Simon taught us what doesn't take effort doesn't deserve effort. If you just give it back the thingamajig, there's no effort in that. I have a pocket watch on a chain. It definitely shows the future. Let's make a deal. Come on, let's see it. Ooh, nice. How does it show the future? With this, you will always know what time it is. So you'll know what time it will be in an hour, or 2, or even 3, which means you know the future. Oh, you're clever, mister. All right, give us your watch, but show us how your thingamajig works. We're still curious. First the trade. The watch for the for the microscope. Then I'll show you. To trade an item, I need to put an item in the barter slot. And if I want something, I need to give something in return. I can do this by putting them in the cells on my inventory side. People won't agree to trade if I offer items less valuable than what I'm asking for. I want to go to yeah, how do I get to the other side? Okay, the top ones, just didn't say the ones. Fair trade. I could give them drugs. It's the capital 2 weeks ago.
They'll go to any length, Chief, but our lengths are longer.
Fair enough. Please hold on a little longer. Even after the inhalation therapy, the swelling won't go down immediately. Chief, finally, where have you been? The woman you rescued from the morgue is conscious, but she might not stay that way. She's still very weak. It's amazing she's standing at all with the amount of gas she inhaled. Step aside with me for a moment, Chief. I checked the morgue records. A body matching her description was declared dead last night. Searching across the country for miraculous resurrections. One springs up right under our feet in our institute's morgue. That's irony for you. I'm not claiming it does, but imagine for a second. No, let's stick to the facts. I spoke to the orderly on duty last night. He also confirms that our subjects showed no signs of life, and Platon himself was there when she woke up. In any case, this is far more interesting than our weekly hysterics insisting they witness their own resurrections. Can't miss this opportunity. Unfortunately, the subject is having trouble speaking. All that time in the gas has weakened her voice. I've rinsed her mucous membranes and performed inhalation therapy, but you understand I can't conduct an extensive interview. Shame. First-hand account could point us in the right direction, but there's always a physical examination or taking a sample. Or an examination of her personal belongings. She came into the morgue with some items, though I haven't had the chance to go through them myself. I left them on the table by the back entrance. We go take a look, Chief. Perhaps there's a clue. Mum, would you allow us to examine your things? Hello, do you remember me? I'm the Batchelor of Medicine, Daniil Dunkovsky, head of the Thanatica Laboratory. Last night, I saved you from a sight of a serious gas leak. Man with death's eyes. My eyes were affected by the gas just like yours, but at least you remember something. I died. Ugh. Tunnel after tunnel. Wait just a moment, I'd like to examine your belongings first, once you had on you at the morgue. Woke up in the morgue during a chlorine leak. Could this be a case of spontaneous resurrection? Our Lazarus' personal belongings effects from the morgue. Morphine, tourniquet, 2 rings, obviously a pair. One would be too big for her. Papers, they look official. Herbs, not a bouquet. Looks medicinal. Self-medication with folk remedies? Morphine, tourniquet. Suffered from severe pain? 2 rings. Jilted fiancé? Papers, they look official. Consent form for the experimental treatment at our institute. Might understand more if I examine the resurrected woman and take a blood sample. Breathing's a bit easier, but talking is still... You can stay quiet for now. I need to examine you. Go to the back for the time being. We're going to be a doctor. So time will be spent. Okay, so what is R to rotate the camera? Yes, I see that. LB for inspection mode. So the skin here is seriously damaged. I suspect it's due to a contact with the gas. Like the same for red eyes and mucosal burns. Pale and gaunt, looks exhausted. Should take a look at her blood sample. Skin here is seriously damaged. Bruising from repeated injections, consequences of attempted resurrection. Morphine, she did have some with her. On her hands. Skin here is seriously damaged. I suspect it's due to her contact with gas. Likely the same for her red eyes and mucosal burns. It's a cut, but... okay, none of the buttons are doing anything. Maybe your blood test will tell us something. Ah, there we go. Microscope. A disease affects various bodily systems. The microscope helps identify which organ is infected. Tissue samples are placed in the glass slides. The assistant ensures the slides are sufficiently supplied. Let's take a sample. You can study the collected samples under the microscope. To perform the test, I need reagents. Doctors themselves in charge of their supply. By adjusting the magnification using R, RT and LT, I can find the red bacteria of the sample. Adjust the focus will allow you to see bacteria better. The lifespan of the culture is limited. I must act quickly. A dead sample is useless. That's it. I found you. The organ is affected. Pathogen has been found. Rest. I'll take another look at the things you had with you when you arrived in the morgue. Last logical avenue remains. I mean, I already did that, didn't I? But together with the examination and tests, this picture is more or less complete. A miraculously resurrected woman has the late-stage leukemia and her injection marks on her body. System couldn't handle a heavy dose of medication. Serafina waits, and our test subject needs rest. Time to come up with a diagnosis, even if it's preliminary.
You asked for it, you got it, Chief. You have too much of a spine.
Oh, I know, too much spine. That's what people say about me. So, Chief, have you shed any light on the case? I'm loath to jump to conclusions, but could the Nanaka have discovered a genuine phenomenon? She was in the trial for a new drug. I'm not sure about our colleagues will disclose the experiment, but I'd guess anaphylaxis, an acute allergic reaction, and you end up in the morgue. I suppose so, but how to explain the most astonishing part, the resurrection? Why did the gas leak revive the subject? Did you see the bruised injection site? Adrenaline? Somebody tried to restart her heart with a too small dose. The gas leaked, and the body released the adrenaline it was missing. Do you think it was a mistake? The subject ended up in the morgue due to negligence. She wasn't actually dead yet, and by a coincidence, an unaccounted for factor revived her. afraid so, I admit. I was hopeful as well. But no, once again, no breakthroughs for Thanatica. So that means he wasn't dead after all. The woman who supposedly came back to life, alas. Well, what's your microscope even for? It doesn't show the future. It doesn't raise the dead. It's just a toy, really. Breakthrough can't happen in one single movement. It takes a sustained effort. Every step feels small at first, but we learn to resurrect the dead one day. Right? If we can't see the future in the glass, then we're off. We've got important things to do after all. As do I. I'll leave my things, my temporary lodgings, and head to the Crucible to see Simon. I believe we've passed where the demo is. Where's some of these? Resolved. I'm ready.
Enough. Why are you drowning me in details, Batchelor? Street kids stealing your microscope is an amusing anecdote, but it's not the crime we sat down to discuss 2 hours ago.
Oh, I missed that. Fuck. So my headphones cut out at just the wrong time. Well, I didn't even know I was missing anything. That's really annoying. Inspector of the Special Committee. He was sent to investigate the case of my criminal negligence. Supposedly, I didn't save the town in the east of our country where plague broke out. I didn't even try, apparently. He's luring me into a trap. His folder's full of intentionally false data. He's not interested in the truth, but rather the downfall of Batchelor Dankovsky. He is my enemy.
What we can't cut short, we will cut down.
Enough. Why are you drowning me in details, Batchelor? Street kids stealing your microscope is an amusing anecdote, but it's not the crime we sat down to discuss 2 hours ago. Only an hour and a half, actually. 2 hours and 15 minutes ago, to be exact. Focus. I'm only interested in what's important. I just wanted to recount everything, in order, from beginning to end. The beginning doesn't interest me. My concern is the ending, the result, the finale. There's your backstory, your genesis, all that is in the case file. Shall we review it? Yes, please. I'm quite curious as to what it contains. Let's see, where was it? Ah, yes. Ministerial inspection of your lab, Thanatica, began in early September. Oh no, there was a bit more to the demo. Your presence was required at all times. Instead, you dashed off across the country to a backwater town, to bring back what might be described as... Yes, an immortal man. Let's set your fantasies aside for a moment. The important part is that you fled from the investigation, and this town has had an outbreak of some fever the scientific community had no knowledge of. As luck would have it, you were the only medical professional on site. Accurate so far? I didn't flee. Proof of human immortality was the only chance to save Thanatica. On the third day, the town's leaders gathered in the town hall to form an emergency command to fight the epidemic. And what was Daniel Dankovsky, who was, I repeat, the only qualified specialist in town doing that day? What's that? Your lip is trembling. Did I unsettle you? My shame isn't your concern. You're right to feel ashamed. Instead of fulfilling your Hippocratic oath, fighting the fight against the plague, you engaged in what? Come on, don't look at the table. My eyes are up here. I'm not looking down out of shame. I'm simply amazed at your informant's sloppy work. On the fourth day, the town's lost its water supply. They required a hospital, but one person could set it up. What was he doing? Tell me, Dankovsky. Where did you spend the 4th and 5th days? I see what you're doing. You're all in it together, aren't you? It's not enough to destroy my lab. You have to destroy me too. Excuse me? Me and whom? To whom are you referring to? You know who. Too many coincidences. This letter from Simon lures me out, but Simon's gone. The town's lockdown traps me while I'm left to die. Thanatica is destroyed, just before scientific breakthrough. How very crafty. His file, the words prone to paranoia, are underlined twice. A didn't think much of them, but now I understand. You think I have some hidden agenda beyond seeking the truth? How charming. I'll make a note of it. For now, let's get back to my fairy tales. Didn't say the word fairy tales, mate. As the saying goes, it's not paranoia if they really are out to get you. I'm already familiar with your plainclothes officers. I know all their faces. On the evening on the 4th day, the doctor from the capital attempted to flee the dying town in a cargo train, like a rat. He was caught and jailed, and there he remained as the plague ravaged the town. I admit I found the act of reading about it repugnant. I won't lie, I considered escape, not flight. The article was in the process of being destroyed back in the capital. You considered escape to avoid facing a painful truth. When I came to town, I found that Simon Kane, the immortal man on whom I pinned all my hopes, was dead. You've changed the characters. But when the epidemic began, you could have saved the others. You're a doctor. You swore an oath. Why did you abandon ordinary townsfolk? Simon's Kane nature, the mystery of the immortality and death, that's the most important thing that happened in this little town and to me. But I can't relay it to you. To understand, one must immerse themselves in the details, taking the full picture. And for the very best immersion, you tried to flee the town on the evening of the 4th day. No, you're twisting it. You're rewriting the past. Where did I lie exactly? Point it out. Everywhere. About the emergency command, the escape, the hospital. The only thing you got right was the reason I came to the town in the first place. Then tell me your version of the events. How did it all happen? No tricks? Leave aside your stories of children and microscopes. I'm tired of repeating myself. I'm interested in the ending, not the beginning. You also read books backwards. You'll recount everything in the order I tell you to. On the 6th day, the plague destroyed the town. So if you'd be so kind to explain to me what you were doing on the 5th day, were you really so indifferent to the plights of the people around you? The town couldn't have perished on the 6th day. I was there for 12. There's an error in your report.